Hey, good morning. So this is Doug, realtor here in Utah. So this week we're talking about new construction, and with new construction, let's talk about just some of the checks that come in. And when I say checks, I'm not talking about the money checks. I'm talking about physical checks that can be done. Typically, your contractors that are building really don't like people running around the job site. You've got other contractors in there. You've got, you know, boards, nails, different things like that, that just from a safety standpoint, they don't want you running around and looking, daily at the progress and those types of things. They're okay, if you want to look once in a while, but they have a couple of major checkpoints in the process. So the first major checkpoint, so you're under contract, you've got everything signed, you've gone through the design center, everybody knows colors and everything that way. We're establishing that. So the first point that we come to is what they call your four-way check. Typically, your four-way check is when everything's framed, the outside's done. It's done just prior to when the insulation and the sheetrock go in the walls. The point of the four-way is so that you can go through and look and see where the plumbing is, where your electrical outlets are, where your fans are, where your lights will be, all those types of things. So that way, at that point, you can see, okay, well, we wanted lights over the island in the kitchen, but those lights are not there. Well, we need to make sure they're there. Those types of checks. We wanted extra like cables run into the master bedroom or into the office so that we could have the high-speed internet come in. And then, so we go through and check those types of things to make sure those are there, and that everything lines out the way, we think it should, the way it was done on the original design that was signed off on. So that's that first check, is a four-way. The second check is your final walkthrough. Now, on your final walkthrough, every builder that I've dealt with does a really good job. So what they'll do is they'll have you come in and you get like the blue tape that is typically what they use. So it's very visible. But they have you help them go through and just tape things as you go through. So that way, if you see, a paint run, you can mark that. Or if you find a place that, they didn't paint, you can tape that. As I've gone through, I found, molding around the door that on the corners or the creases, they hadn't caulked it in and sealed it and then painted it. So there's a gap. Those types of things. I've seen where, the cabinets need a little touch up here or there, because they are moving as things come in and out. They're bringing flooring in, they're bringing cabinets in, they put their carpet in typically as last, or one of the last things. And so there can be some small dings, dents, those type. So you put the blue tape down, and usually that blue tape goes in a couple of days before you close. And then the contractors will go back through and they'll send their painters back in, or whoever needs to, and they'll get everything fixed for you. So when you move in, everything is pristine and ready to go. The other thing that most of your builders do is at a year mark, within that first year, they'll take care of any other issues. So sometimes like the sheetrock screws will kind of work their way out, and some people call them pops or whatever, but they just kind of pop out of the sheetrock. So they'll come in, they'll go back, cinch those back up, fix them, touch up the paint so everything's good to go. So that's another after the fact kind of a thing. But anyway, buying new construction is going to continue to be a good avenue. So if it's something that you want to do, something you want to look at and explore and talk about, give me a call and let's see what we can do. Let's get you into a home.